Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tyler and I just do consistent content, all things related hockey and the NHL overall. And yes, the Vancouver Canucks did it. They defied the odds and defeated the giant in the St. Louis Blues. The 2019 Stanley Cup champions are being sent home in this best-of-7 quarterfinal series, only needing 6 games for the Canucks case in doing so. So that's what I'll be discussing with you today. My thoughts on this series and what is next for these two Western Conference teams going forward in both the Vancouver Canucks and the St. Louis Blues. But are you new to the channel? If so, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you end up enjoying this kind of hockey content. Thank you all for everyone that's been following me thus far and subscribed. It means so much to me. This is only the beginning, guys. And once we hit 1K, in which I really hope you help me do that, if you are not subbed yet, make sure you do. Then I will be able to start doing live streams and commentary on regular season games, playoff games, things leading up to the playoffs, just having commentary overall, a lot of great things. And same thing with the NHL draft and leading up to it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you do in fact enjoy this kind of hockey content. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. I'm honestly in disbelief. This Vancouver Canucks team has continued to defy the odds in a very unprecedented year when it comes to NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. So many upsets have happened already. A lot of series ending in only 5 or 6 games, and this was another one with the Vancouver Canucks taking down the former Stanley Cup champions, I should say, and the St. Louis Blues. The Blues were a team where, going into this year's postseason, I fully expected to have a deep playoff run. They were a team that I honestly imagine if there were any teams that would have a strong chance at winning back-to-back cups, this Blues team had the potential to do just that with the same core group. Little or nothing changed in that lineup, with the only biggest X factor, and of course their main goal scorer in Vladimir Tarasenko being out with injury throughout the entirety basically of the regular season and in this year's postseason. He just couldn't get anything going, and then he was sent back home to St. Louis a couple games ago to get reevaluated on his shoulder, and that I think definitely factored into things. But regardless, this Vancouver Canucks team has been unbelievably impressive. Whether it's the likes of the young guns on this roster with the likes of Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, even the captain Bo Horvat, and then you get some more of the veterans, whether it be the likes of course, JT Miller, or the guys in that bottom 6, you know, the Jay Beagles, the Antoine Roussells of the world. A lot of guys are contributing in this lineup, and of course, Brock Besser is really proving why the Canucks should not trade him by any means. I think it was ridiculous enough that they were honestly looking at him at one point this year as being the problem in this lineup and possibly shopping him away. I think that would be silly. But look, this Canucks team has really looked deadly. And if you look in this series, the Canucks outscored the St. Louis Blues here 22 goals to 16. As we know, the St. Louis Blues were kind of a middle of the pack type team when it came to offense this year, even without having Tarasenko in the lineup. But I think not having your goal scorer healthy in Tarasenko definitely factored into things a little bit. But regardless, Elias Pettersson, an amazing young phenom, Swedish centerman, has just been lights out since he first came in the league a couple years ago, drafted of course in 2017, had 13 points including 4 goals in this year's playoffs thus far, and he has been a monster in this series as well. And then you get to JT Miller, who has really been an unsung hero for this Vancouver Canucks team, of course being acquired by the Tampa Bay Lightning and the trade with Ryan McDonough and the Rangers years ago, I believe back in 2017, and then that deal just not working out for Tampa side of things, at least when it came to JT Miller, because Miller just wasn't cracking that Tampa Bay lineup. He was in the top 6 a lot, wasn't doing well. Ultimately, after 1 year with Tampa, I believe he then gets shipped off to the Vancouver Canucks, and wow, has this deal worked perfectly for both sides, truly. The Tampa Bay Lightning, of course, get a first round or a couple first round picks. I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2. But then the other way, Vancouver gets a guy who's finally hitting his prime, even though he's, you know, more of a late bloomer, if you will. He definitely took his time, and I can tell you personally as a Rangers fan, I've always loved Miller and his game, but I'm so happy to see him thriving in this top 6 role with the Vancouver Canucks. Miller, of course, had over 70 points on the year and had 10 points in this year's playoffs thus far, including 5 goals. Awesome numbers. So happy for him. Such a strong two-way winner. Is a very gritty guy too. Is not afraid to drop the gloves if need be, and he looks like he's really showing the kind of player that he has been throughout his entire career. Finally gained everything to click. quick. But then when you get a Quinn Hughes, the guy who is most likely going to win the Calder if it is not Cale Makar, in my opinion, Hughes had 10 points in this series. Remarkable numbers. Power play quarterback and 5-on-5. He was just an X factor for this Vancouver Canucks blue line, with some other guys on the blue line not looking nearly as good. Hughes has been lights out even as a rookie. He's just looking amazing, and I cannot wait to see what the future is holding for him. But then you get to Jacob Markstrom, the goaltender who's on his contract year and really giving the Vancouver Canucks a very strong reason as to why they should consider re-signing him. And regardless if they do or not, he is definitely due for a big payday going into this offseason. Markstrom had a 7-3 record in this year's postseason thus far, and a goals on average of 2.44 and a save percentage of .929. Now when you get to the St. Louis Blues side of things, the offense just simply wasn't there. Ryan O'Reilly did, of course, have a very strong playoff again with 11 points in this year's playoffs, but it wasn't enough. Then you get to David Perron, 9 points, which is very solid for Perron, the 3-time St. Louis Blue, and his third stint looking very strong. And then you get to Alexander Pietrangelo, their captain, who very well looks like he'll be on the way out, because I don't know how St. Louis is able to give him the contract that he's going to be looking for unless he takes, another prove-it deal to then hit the market in a year or two, given the fact that this is a flat cap this year. So it's definitely affecting the likes of the free agents. But we'll see what happens there. But I do think Alex is on his way out, unfortunately, for the Blues case, because he's an amazing, easily top 5 two-way defenseman in the league, in my opinion. He had 6 points in the series. But then you get to Jordan Binnington, or Winnington as they used to like to call him. I'm not sure if that is the case now. In this year's playoffs, Jordan definitely got exposed for, reminds me a bit of kind of Matt Murray at times, where Matt Murray came into the NHL, of course, won the Stanley Cup in his rookie year with the Penguins, and then won again the following year. But then teams finally started to get a playbook on the guy. And when it comes to Jordan Binnington, that was evident in not just the round robin, but this series as well. He went 0-5 in this year's playoffs, if you're including the round robin, had a goals allowed average of 4.72 and a save percentage of .851. So it was clearly showing that teams are picking up on him as to where to pick those corners, because the Canucks did just that in their game 6. They did not have many shots on goal by any means, but they made the right shots. That ultimately was the X factor in Binnington being pulled in multiple games in this series. Jake Allen looked very strong in the times that he did play. He, of course, had a monstrous game for them in one of the Blues' win. He won both games with them in this whole series. So it makes you wonder, if Allen was starting the series, would we be in a different conversation right now? Would the Blues come out victorious? I'm not sure, but Jake Allen definitely didn't impress, and he's given a good reason for maybe the Blues to consider going back to him with more of the bulk of the workload going forward, because Binnington and Allen going forward are a great 1A, 1B tandem, but the question is Allen going to be back to 1A now, or is he going to stay in that limited role? I'm not sure, but this Blues team had so much promise going into this year. I don't think they're that upset knowing that they did just win the Cup last year, so hats off to them. They're still very impressive of a team, and I expect a lot from them going forward, led by the likes of their head coach, Craig Berube. I think they have a fantastic core group there, and they should have everyone relatively there going into next year. Maybe they make some little minor moves. I don't expect anything drastic, but we'll see what happens with the captain and Alex. But going back to Vancouver Canucks, wow, were they impressive. This bottom 6 really clicked for them when they needed them to. Yes, some of those contracts don't look great, but I do not think you can attack Benning in this situation, because he obviously had a somewhat of an idea when it came to signing the Russells of the world, the Louis Ericssons, even though he isn't really putting up the points, we know that, or Jay Beagles. When they're healthy, and Sutter as well, they do make a difference, and I think that's key to have these kind of guys in your bottom 6 with a playoff type mentality, because some of these guys know what it takes to win. They've been in plenty playoff situations before, and I think this is just the kind of X factor the Vancouver Canucks have needed, along with this young core group into making things happen at this playoff type level. So I'm very interested to see what happens with the Canucks going forward. The Canucks, of course, will be playing the Vegas Golden Knights, which will be a tough task. Will be tougher than the St. Louis Blues. We'll find out in just a couple days. But thank you all so much for watching. I think that is going to conclude this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. St. Louis fans, I know you're upset, but look, you have a very promising future still, a core group, still in a win now stage. This is not the end for you guys. And Vancouver Canucks fans, how hyped are you? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear how ecstatic for you. And you guys are so deserving. You haven't had anything happen, of course, since 2011. So maybe this is a year where you surprise some people, in a year where everything has gone wrong in the world truly. This is a year to take advantage of all the situations, and I think the Canucks are doing just that. A very impressive team with such a great young core group, led by the likes of course, Bo Horvat, Elias Pettersson, JT Miller, why am I blanking on his name right now? Brock Besser. The list goes on and on. They have plenty of pieces there, and that bomb six is looking strong, as I said. So this is only the beginning, guys. Let me know in the comments below all your thoughts. Thank you all so much for checking out this video. It means a lot to me. Hit subscribe, hit like if you like this kind of hockey content. Check out my previous videos right down here below. And trust me, guys, this is only the beginning of this channel. I was just recently gifted by my brother with a lot of amazing things going into this channel. So we're talking about better audio, better visuals, better everything. This channel is only going to continue to grow. I have so much thanks to him for getting these things for me. It means so much to me, including this awesome sign right here. So expect this to be in my videos going forward. But thank you all again, guys, for checking me out. It means a lot. And I'll be back very, very soon.